Hi, I'm here to talk about this guitar. It's a Strat. Yeah, I'm sure you all recognise the Strat. What kind of Strat is it? Well, it's a bone of conjecture for a few years. I've had this for maybe about 5 or 6 years, and I'm still not 100% sure. But I am 95% sure it's Japanese. Where it was made, I don't really know. Having looked at it, I can see that it's got the same sort of build quality and the same sort of weight as most of the Japanese Strats. I had a GRECO Strat, which I'm sure is still up on my site, and I meant to do a wee thing with this, but I was going to keep this anyway because it's a lovely guitar, and I don't think, in fact, it's probably slightly better than my GRECO in many ways. I think this guitar, for what after doing a bit of research, what I found out was that a lot of guitars were made, or looks like Strats or Les Pauls, were made at the same factory, mostly Ibanez, Univox and all that sort of stuff. They were the sort of factories that were farming out these guitars, making them very well, in fact. The only difference was the hardware and so forth were basically the same, but the pickups could be different configurations. If GRECO ordered a specific set of pickups, that's what they got, and they wanted it a certain style. If it was a 3 pickup system, which I think this dates back to the 1970s, I think it may be 74, 75, 76 era. It's a 3-way selector, and of course I think that's exactly what it is. I think it's been made for a specific factory, but usually they had surplus. This is what I've heard. They had surplus guitars and no names in the headstock, so they weren't going anywhere, so they sold them off as commodities for less money, basically. They couldn't, because they can't get a brand name on it. They sold them off as rejects, or they just sold them off as surplus guitars. Generally they were sold locally. Now, I don't know, the guy told me he got it through somebody else and then doesn't know what history it was before that, but I imagine it had been someone who's maybe brought it over from Japan or whatever. It's a lovely thing. It's a really nice neck. It's a lovely, beautiful neck to play, very easy to play, and one of the best necks I've picked up on the Strat. At the top you can see there's been a sticker on there. There's been a sort of sticker. Now, I am going to stick my neck out and 95% said made in Japan, because I can't think anywhere else it could have been. Unless there was anybody else out there making guitars at that time, which I don't think they were. I would 95% sure it's Japanese. And I can tell really because the GRECO I had was exactly the same colour, the same configuration, the same sort of neck. The neck was maybe a bit lighter than maple. But this is certainly a lovely guitar, and it's maybe had many years to be played in, but it's just a lovely thing. As I said, it's a 3-way pickup, and as I said, it's also as well, it's just a lovely thing, and even the trem works great. It's just and there's no, it's in perfect intonation, etc., which I'm going to show. This is us on the bridge position here, just to let you hear something, and I can bend that as much as you like and it'll just stay in tune. It's just a lovely thing. That's a bridge position, here's the mid position. it's just a lovely thing, you know. And I never thought about giving it a review because I didn't really want to sell it. But I thought what I was trying to do really is just let people say, because a guitar's got no name in the headstock doesn't necessarily mean it's not a good guitar. You know, there's many luthiers out there that have made a guitar without putting any name in their headstock, and it's been a great guitar. And that's what I was attracted to. At first I thought, no, I don't want to take this as a part exchange towards one of my guitars. But when I picked up and played it, I thought, yeah, it's got to. I didn't care about no names in the headstock. A lot of people are very fussy. It has to be a Fender, it has to be a Gibson, it has to be something on it. But if you're a guitar player, it doesn't really matter if there's a name in the headstock or not. If the guitar plays well and it sounds great, why bother? I don't care. Why should it bother anybody else? It's just a lovely, lovely thing. And if that had Fender written on it, then it wouldn't make any difference. You would have thought it was a Fender. Because it plays so well, sounds great. Who's to say it wasn't? But we know it probably was Japanese. That's all I can mention. So maybe let's see what sound distortion. Let's see what sounds is like there. that's a no-name Strat, I reckon from Japan. 95% sure it is. It's a lovely guitar. I'm not the best player in the world, but someone would love this guitar. You're not getting it, I don't think. Depends on how bad the finances get. I suppose everything's got to be up for sale. But just thought I'd give it a little review, just to remind people that because there's no brand name doesn't mean to necessarily mean that it's a bad guitar. It could well be one of the best guitars you ever played. So that's what I'm saying. I picked that up and I loved it. So everybody else should be the same. You all pick up one guitar one day when there's no name in the headstock and find it's a great guitar. Okay, thanks.